A very efficient exercise to do is only use your fingers to block your nose. What's going to happen is that by restricting the airflow, it will create a bigger adaptation at your diaphragm and also at your muscle, because you're going to have a lot less oxygen. You're going to increase your CO2. You'll feel a great pump, but it's a very easy exercise. The key is to keep your lips slightly pursed. Again, you don't close your mouth completely and you don't completely block your nose. You want to do in between 15 and 20 repetition, and don't go above 20. You will see, and you want to get to about 90 degree of knee flexion. All right, ready? And go. Breathe in, that's it. Breathe in, down, exhale, out, purse lip. Good. That's good. Breathe in and out. Good, real good. Very efficient. That's good. Have a good tempo. You could use a metronome too if you want to increase. That's good. That's really good. Very good movement. That's it. Purse lips. And stop. Perfect. By using the metronome, it gives you a feedback. Now do a couple with the metronome and just follow the beat. It brings an element of perturbation also, and she needs to follow. It becomes a little more complicated for the brain also, and the breathing. Very important. She's a tennis player. To any sports requires rhythm. That's one of the good way to do it. We're combining with the airflow restriction mix with the metronome. Very good, Veronica. Very good. Normally, for an athlete like her, she will always use a metronome. It's very easy. You could have the app. It's free. And you could play with it. You could do a little faster, a little shorter, a little longer movement, depending on your, if she has a game tomorrow. Obviously, I don't want her to go too low to create too much onset muscle soreness. She will do more like a tennis movement. She could do a little lateral movement too in the same type. But we want to keep it short, not to go too above that to create too much metabolite in her body. Basically, when you do this, you improve your metabolic reflex. And that's very, very important. You'll hear that more if you do some research. That's one of the reasons why they invented these devices that I'm going to show you that we could use at the same time. These devices, this is the breather. We have also expand the lung. The advantage of these devices is that you're able to inhale and exhale. By itself is very, very practical to work on your metabolic reflex and also the coordination. I don't want to say the strength of the diaphragm. It's more like a synchronization and a coordination. Also has an effect on the zone of apposition. There's three parts of the diaphragm. You got the dome, you got the middle part and the pillars. And when you do these kind of forced breathing through the nose or through the mouth, it will help you to have a better zone of apposition. At the same time strengthening and have a better harmony when you go at high speed. If you ski at altitude, she plays tennis in a very long match, it will help her to control the metabolic reflex. Because the longer you delay the onset of the metabolic reflex, the more you will have a better endurance at high speed. As an example, if we run a 400 meter and around 300 and 350 meters, our legs are shut down completely. You have the feeling that someone's pulling you down and there's no one. It's your metabolic reflex that sensed that your respiratory muscles are in danger or in trouble, and he cuts down the blood supply to the legs to get more blood to the diaphragm. While if you do both at the same time, if you train it by itself, has an effect. You breathe in and out. Normally, the recipe I give, you do about a system of 3-3. You do 10 reps. You breathe in mouth. 3 in, 3 out. Then I increase the tension. Then I'll do 2-2. Then I increase the tension for another 10 reps. I always take 30 seconds between the sets. I do it as a training. Also, I will combine it with the nose. I prefer nose breathing, but once a day. Still, most of the research are done in inspiration through the mouth. And there's not a lot of research yet in the inspiration through the nose. It's very hard to find, we use nose clips sometimes, but it's very hard to find like with a gauge. There's no adjustable nose clip. Maybe one day we'll invent one, but that would be the best. All the athletes and everybody should only inhale through the nose while you do a normal activity, while you move. When you do these technique, it's all right. It's not long. It's just a couple of minutes a day. It will help a lot, but combine it. Also, without movement, what I like to combine is blocking my nose partially and also work with the device to create tension on my exhalation. You could use the same principle of 3-3. 10 reps, increase the gauge and increase a bit the pressure, 2-2. And increase the pressure, 1-1. You will see the more pressure you increase, especially in the inhale with your nose, you will feel near your pillars a good movement and you will have a good feedback. It readjusts very quickly. A lot of people, they think they inhale, they pull their stomach in. A lot of time when you use these breathing device, automatically as you go in, automatically you'll see the stomach having the diaphragm moving in the right direction because it's an internal load that creates direct feedback of all the proprioceptors inside. Again, you could mix it with the same principle Veronica did. Then when you master that, after a couple of workouts, you could play with it, mixing it without blocking the nose. I'll do the squats. I inhale nose, and I exhale mouth. I do 20 reps. Again, if I'm completely out of breath after 5 reps, I reduce the tension by increasing the airflow coming in. Then, when I master that for 3-4 sets, after a couple of workouts, I'm doing well. I'll do with the nose. Then I'll combine breathing nose. Again, around 15-20 reps. Obviously, I go more around the 12-15 reps when I block both, and I'll stick around with the 20 reps. Try it. You'll see within 1 or 2 sets, you'll feel a lot of heat and a big pump in the muscle that you're using. Why? You have an increase in CO2. Also, the blood flow is increased because their airflow is restricted. It forces also the CO2 pressure increase, a delivery more from the hemoglobin to your bloodstream into the peripheric muscles that are working, more oxygen to each cells. Very efficient. Again, you can't block the nose when you do chin-ups. You could do the same. Breathe in nose, exhale mouth as you come up. When you do these exercises, I recommend that when you do the concentric, exhale. Again, don't use a lot of weights on it. It's not good for your spine. It's really to work your respiratory muscle. Also in biomechanics, when you do segmental analytical movement, when you exhale the movement, you will improve body and muscle awareness. And it's going to be a brain-muscle connection with the breathing. Breathing originates in the same area, cerebral trunk, and also you got all near the cerebellum, you got the pons, and that's the area where you have the medulla oblongata. That's where all the breathing are calibrated with different type of, you got also in the ambiguous nucleus that goes with the facial expression. It's all in combination. Then basically it's the hindbrain, and everything has an effect on your posture, on the vagus nerve. That's from there too, but doing these exercises will help you a lot in the movements. Basically, as a recipe, you could mix both. What I recommend to my athletes let's say we want to do a quick leg workout. The athlete will inhale nose, exhale fully, will go as much as he can. Then he will do the same thing with either upper body, a chin up, or a push up. Breathe in 1, exhale fully, do chin ups or push up. Then we go to the device. The first part will be with the squat, with the nose. Breathe in nose. Then I'll do 20 reps, and I'll do the same with the device in my mouth. I will do the push up or the chin up, having more pressure as an exhalator, and I will mix. Obviously, when I'll mix both, I will have to only either, if I could find a good nose flip, will be good. If not, I will use it only in the squatting position like I just showed in the legs. Then you could combine it with this. Usually I will do the second set of hypoventilation, of empty lung movement without any apparatus. I will do 1 inhale, 1 full exhale. Then I'll go with 20 seconds. I will go hyperventilation, exhale fully, block my nose, squat up and down as much as I can, breathe in and out 20 seconds, exhale, push up or chin up. I will do a total of 9 sets. Then I'll go on this and I will alternate. Normally, if you do 9 sets in the morning and 9 sets just before dinner, you will see, if it's the only thing you do, then you could combine it with your exercise. Usually, we do 1 round, the inhale, exhale, we do 1 set as a warm-up only, and then if it's more, I want to get a more metabolic response, I will redo it at the end. Very effective if you use flywheel device like we use Desmotech. If you use the inertial waves, amazing. Anything has a big epoch cost will have even more, will be more beneficial. I use the Whoop watch, and the strain level when I use these devices compared to nothing, or when I do the hypoventilation without breathing, big difference. It's almost double and a half of the same amount of work, same time. Then for the time in the gym, it's very, very, very effective. And you will see that within a couple of weeks, your level of able to repeat very high level effort constantly, like playing tennis, playing golf, you'll see the control. A lot of my golfers, they love it. Although golf is not a high intensity sport, it's a very high stress sport. And doing these devices and movement, they feel like, wow, although you don't even carry your bag if you're a pro, the pressure increased your heart rate. It's pretty interesting, like a pro golfer, how much there's an increase in heart rate when he hits the ball, and that's the ventilation. When they learn to control their ventilation with that, you will see a big difference.